Annex A Control 5.7 Threat Intelligence, that's the official title. 2 words. And I guarantee you that when you go through your statement of applicability for the first time and your eye lands on those 2 words, something happens in your chest. A little flutter of dread. Because threat intelligence sounds like something that happens in a basement in Cheltenham, doesn't it? Blue light on someone's face, a globe with red arcs flying across it, a man in a hoodie typing furiously with both hands. Cute. Here's what it actually is. Are you paying attention to what the bad guys are doing to companies like yours? And are you doing anything about it? That's it. That's the control. Now this one is new in the 2022 version. It didn't exist in the 2013 standard. So if you've got an old checklist knocking about or a consultant reheating a template from 2017, this is one of the gaps. And it's one of the ones people fumble hardest because it sounds enormous and expensive, and it is neither. Let me give you the actual requirement in plain English. Information relating to information security threats shall be collected and analyzed to produce threat intelligence. Collected, analyzed, produced. 3 verbs, and the second one is where everybody falls over. Because collecting is easy. Anyone can collect. My downloads folder is a monument to collecting. The standard talks about 3 layers, and this is genuinely useful. So stay with me. Strategic. That's the big picture. Who is going after companies in your sector? And what's the trend? Are ransomware crews suddenly interested in small business software firms? Is there a wave of supply chain attacks going after software vendors like you? That's board level stuff. That's the should we be worried about a different category of thing this year question. Tactical. That's methods, tools, technologies. How are they actually getting in? Are they phishing your finance person? Are they abusing single sign-on tokens? Are they going after a specific library that half the internet has in its dependency tree? Operational? That's the sharp end. A specific attack on you, imminent or in progress. A vulnerability in the exact version of the exact thing you are running right now with a proof of concept in the wild. 3 layers, different audiences, different timescales, same job, and then the bit everyone skips. It has to be relevant, it has to be timely, and it has to be acted on. It feeds your risk assessment, it feeds your controls, it feeds your testing. Threat intelligence that goes into a folder and dies is not threat intelligence, it's just news. Right? Let's make this real, because I want to right-size this for you rather than gold-plate it. Say you're a 12-person software company. You've got a product, some customers, a bit of revenue, and Dave runs the platform. Dave runs the laptops. Dave runs the on-call rota. And Dave has recently been handed the information security management system because Dave made the mistake of being competent in a meeting. What does Annex A Control 5.7 look like for Dave? Honestly, not for a bank. 1. Dave subscribes to the national cybersecurity advisories for his country and to the vendor advisories for the things he actually runs, his cloud provider, his database, his main framework, his endpoint protection. Not everything. The stack he actually has. If you're not running it, you don't need alerts about it. 2. Dave keeps half an eye on his sector. What's happening to other small software companies? Industry reporting, a couple of decent researchers, whatever community his customers live in. 3. And this is the one that turns a hobby into a control. Dave has a rule for what happens when an alert lands. Who looks at it? How fast? How you decide whether it matters to you, and where the decision gets written down. That's it, that's the whole thing. It fits on one side of A4 and it costs you nothing but discipline. And notice what I did not say. I did not say buy a platform. Which brings me neatly to the failure modes. And there are 3 I'd bet money on. Failure 1, the folder of feeds nobody opens. This is the most common by a mile. Someone sets up a mailbox rule. All the advisories go into a folder called Security, and the folder quietly swells to 4,000 unread items like a tick on a dog. The auditor asks what you did about the advisory from March, and everyone looks at Dave, and Dave looks at the floor. You collected, you never analyzed. You've got a bin, not a control. Failure 2, buying a platform and calling it a strategy. Somebody sells you a beautiful dashboard with a globe on it, and the globe has arcs, and the arcs are red, and everyone in the leadership meeting goes, "Ooh!" 12 months later, nobody has logged in since the demo, and you're paying 4 figures a month for a screensaver. A tool is not a decision. A feed is not a judgment. If nothing in your company changes because of what the tool told you, you didn't buy threat intelligence. You bought a subscription to feeling responsible. Failure 3, the one-time search. Somebody Googled threats to software companies in the week before the audit, pasted 3 paragraphs into a document, dated it, and called it done. Less. Threat intelligence is a heartbeat, not a birth certificate. If it happened once, it isn't intelligence, it's an anecdote with a date on it. Now this control does not live alone. And this is where you can save yourself a load of work by joining things up rather than building a new empire. Annex A Control 8.8, Management of Technical Vulnerabilities. That's the obvious partner. Your intelligence tells you a thing is being exploited. Your vulnerability management tells you whether you've got that thing. Those two should talk to each other daily. And in a 12-person company, they should talk to each other in the same conversation. Annex A Control 5.6, Contact with Authorities, and Annex A Control 5.6, Contact with Special Interest Groups. Those are 2 of your actual sources. You are allowed to get your intelligence from other humans. Revolutionary, I know. Annex A Control 5.21, Managing Information Security in the Information and Communication Technology Supply Chain, and Annex A Control 5.19, Information Security and Supplier Relationships. Because half your realistic threats arrive through somebody else's software. And then Clause 6.1.2 and Clause 6.1.3, your risk assessment and risk treatment, because that is where the intelligence has to land to count. If your threat picture changed and your risk register didn't, one of those 2 documents is lying to you. So here's my dare, and it's a small one, which is why you won't like it. Go and look at wherever your security advisories currently arrive right now, today. Find the most recent one that actually applied to something you run, and ask one question: what did we do about it, and where is that written down? If you can answer that in under 5 minutes, you're most of the way to Annex A Control 5.7 already, and you can stop panicking. If you can't, don't buy anything, don't book a demo. Just give Dave a rule, a deadline, and a place to write the answer. That's the control. Everything else is red arcs on a globe.